What is up, YouTube? Today we are going to be talking about Bitcoin rejecting off resistance and whether Ethereum can carry the rest of the market higher. So let's get right into this. Okay, the total market cap did see a rejection on the 12-hour time frame. If we drop into the 4-hour, in our previous episode, we mentioned our upward pointing support. If this support failed, we were going to be bearish on the short term. That support did go ahead and fail. So I'm not expecting this market to be super bullish over the next couple days at least. We're talking kind of short-term movement right here. I'm expecting something like this, maybe a small bounce and then a push a little bit lower. That doesn't mean that the move up is over and that we won't see it actually break up into this resistance level again. But that just means that on the short term, we have rejected off this resistance on both Bitcoin and with the total market cap. Now, if you understand basic Elliott wave theory rules, we do look like we need to push higher here, because even if this is an A, B, C up, so this is an A, B, C wave like this, there's still a full Elliott wave sequence from the B to the C, which means that there's only been a 1, 2, 3, and we're making a potential 4 wave before pushing higher. And if this isn't an ABC up, if this is an actual impulse wave, the first bullish impulse in a new market cycle, then this is a 1, 2, and then this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll even push higher still, because inside of the 3 wave, there has to be a full Elliott wave sequence as well. So either way, I'm not expecting this sell-off to continuate very far, but I do expect it to drop a little bit lower. So let me just map out these levels for you guys. The real levels to watch is going to be the previous support chunk over here. So we're going to clone this, pull this over to prices in the past, and pull it all the way over to where we are at right now in the market. So let me just take this, and now we are going to make it green because this is a support area, not a resistance area. So this is the area that I'm watching between 162 and 170. I expect the market to do a small little bounce like this and then push into this support level a little bit further before we can see another wave on the upside. And a lot of people were wondering, well, what caused this sell-off in the first place? And honestly, it was because of relative strength index and MACD divergence. As you can see, the price hit a high right here, and then prices continued to make a higher high right here. Well, the moving average made a high right here, and then made a lower low right here. And by moving average, I mean moving average convergence divergence, the MACD. So that is a divergence in price, meaning that the prices are diverging from the momentum. And whenever you have a bearish divergence in price, you're likely to expect a sell-off. They're a really, really strong signal and create very, very profitable trades. So let's check out what our top mover for the day is. Our top mover for the day is Lambda. So let's pull this chart up. Lambda is a little bit of a newer coin. As you can see, we've really had price action only from the beginning of this year, which has been a steady uptrend the entire time. If we drop down into the previous chart, you can see that there was just a nice consistent growth on the upside, and then it just started to go extremely parabolic. So this isn't something that you want to chase. I know it's always tempting to want to buy green candlesticks, and most of the time when people hear about a market is when there's the most hype anyways. So the majority ends up buying in these green areas. But you guys, just wait for a healthy pullback. There will be somewhat of a healthy pullback in this trend. And even if there isn't a healthy pullback in this trend, there's always other trades and always other coins that you can get in on a healthy pullback where your risk to reward ratio is safe and you get your consistency and profitability. As far as whether this coin will keep pushing higher in this move or not, we can measure the parabolic trend right here as our trend lines get steeper and steeper. And if this parabolic trend line fails, then I'll expect this to go ahead and reject. So this could easily push higher right here, keep going up, keep going up, keep going up, and then finally fall back and reject off one of the parabolic trend lines. We could draw a steeper one right here, and then they usually do a bit of a bull trap before they drop lower. One example of a coin that did this recently is Crypto.com chain. As you can see, it started going parabolic right here, created a parabolic trend line. This parabolic trend line got extremely steep right here, and then prices went ahead, rejected, failed the parabolic trend line. Just make this a little bit more accurate right here, and continue to see downside. So that creates an ABC correction. This right here would have been your A and your BC correction there. And then if we just remove all the drawing tools for a second here, you'll see that this was our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 impulse wave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 A, B, C correction. Now what's nice about Crypto.com chain is it looks like we're getting another cycle here. So I'm going to be watching this one pretty closely for trading patterns. We do have a little bit of a consolidation pattern playing out right now. So if this triangle keeps forming here, I would probably aim to buy a breakout of this or a retrace back onto this support trend right here. But yeah, the reason I bring this coin up is just an example of charts that go sideways or trend and then finally start to go parabolic like this, and then what happens when they actually reject from that point. So what everybody is wondering is whether this is the top of our move that we've done recently, this whole move on the upside right here, and whether this is the bottom of the bear market at the 3,200 level. Those are the two big questions that everybody has in the back of their head right now. So to answer the first question, I see a small ABC correction coming. This correlates with what I was talking about in the market cap, where we will bounce and then fall into support a little bit further. What that would look like on Bitcoin here is an A, B, C back onto support levels. Now, this support level could be this lower support level right here, or we could find support in this area right here that we've seen resistance in the past. That would be a middle point, and what I would suspect to be a little bit more likely. A retest all the way back down here would show a little bit more weakness. And once that ABC correction is made, it can go ahead and push up to that resistance level again with more momentum and volume, and potentially test the major resistance level at 6,000. Now what would confirm this right here being the bottom of the bear market is if we can breach above 6,000 with any form of confidence. So if there's a break above the $6,000 level and we see any type of volume that's even bigger than this, or maybe volume in this kind of size right here, what we are seeing near the bottom, that would show confidence in a breakout and show confirmation that 3,200 would be the bottom of the bear market. That also would break the lower low trending pattern, as we would start to get above the recent low and make higher highs in the bigger picture. But something I am watching really closely here is Ethereum, because Ethereum is showing a lot of fractal similarities to the last time that it bottomed. And although Ethereum has lagged behind the rest of the market, everything else like Litecoin started to break out before Ethereum did. Now Ethereum just recently broke above horizontal resistance. So this coin could actually start to carry the rest of the market higher. So that's what I'm expecting here with Ethereum when I'm watching. A couple things to note is the similarity in the pattern, the correction patterns. So this correction right here, when we hit the top, we saw a wave down. It kind of makes this zigzag shape. It bounces and then it pushes lower. And then it kind of does the reversal pattern right here. We're starting to see volume coming back into the market. And you guys, this is the logarithmic chart. You can take it off the logarithmic chart. But for this analysis specifically, I'm looking at the fractals, and the fractals are the most powerful on the logarithmic chart. And looking at the previous cycle here, you can see that it went down, bounced back up, and it fell down again in that same kind of fashion. And if we actually look at when it went bullish, over here we can zoom in, and this pattern is very, very neat as well, because we bounce up, we zigzag down, and then we break out of the flag. So it kind of makes this zigzag up shape, kind of like an ABC wave on the upside. And then over here, you can see that same thing happening again. Prices bounce, falls down, and we're starting to make that zigzag on the upside, just like what we saw at the bull flag breakout of the last cycle. Another thing that is really exciting me about Ethereum is in the big picture, we have a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave pattern. This is such a clean Elliott wave structure. And inside of each wave, you can count the subwaves very cleanly as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you've got your ABC correction, that zigzag down. And then you get your breakout 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you get another zigzag ABC corrective pattern, exactly in the same fashion that we saw from 2016 to 2017 on Ethereum. So we're getting subwaves and major waves lining up very nicely with Ethereum. So what I'm watching here is for that volume to come back in with Ethereum over the next couple days. Yes, we might drop a teeny bit over the next couple days here, but as long as we can return to that uptrend and break some of these horizontal levels, then Ethereum should carry the rest of the market back up, and we'll push for another wave up with Bitcoin and some of the altcoins. There is a bearish scenario here that could play out, but I'm not even going to show you that bearish setup until we get a little bit more structure for it, because right now we are seeing a lot more favor in the bulls, and the bearish structure would have to see a pretty big support failure. We would need to take out this horizontal support and start to aim towards this horizontal support. If any of those levels started to fail, or if we started to test those levels, we could have some bearish structure for these lower support levels to be tested. But right now, I'm not going to jump the gun on that because the market structure is still bullish. So yeah, hold off. Don't get too panicky off of a little bit of a rejection. Understand that we could fall a little bit further down over the next couple days in the short term. But as far as the bigger picture stuff is concerned, like the 12-hour and the 1 day, and even if you zoom clear out into the 4-day, or this is 5-day actually, time frames, we've broken out of the downtrending resistance on the logarithmic chart with Bitcoin. And like I said, Ethereum and a lot of these altcoins are setting up very nicely in the big picture logarithmic charts as well. So don't lose hope, don't lose confidence in the crypto space. Don't get fearful over the next couple of days if we get a little bit of a drop. Just have that in the back of your head, know that it's a possibility, and set up your trading plans accordingly. Thank you guys so much for tuning into today's video. I hope that you liked it. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button. You guys can follow me on social media in the description box below, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. As always, stay profitable out there.